Hi everyone, my name is Amber and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a book haul video, but with a twist. So I have two massive bags here that I took from my granddad's house. If you don't know, I used to live with him for quite a few years and I had a massive book collection there because I was doing booktube as I was living with him and I was accumulating all of these books. And then I moved out and went to live with Quill in a tiny one-bedroom flat and I couldn't take all of the books with me. I have obviously moved a few times since and I'm now living in a house, but due to COVID, I haven't been able to go over to my granddad's and collect every single one of my books. However, he has been giving me a handful of books at a time in these bags. I can slowly take the books away from him and kind of clear up his spare room. So today, for this book haul, I have these two massive bags of books to go through. I don't really know what's in them. I've got a vague idea because I did see a couple of books in there as I was picking them up. I've got a bunch of books here to go through to pick out. The idea of this book haul is that I'm going to see if I remember what any of these books are about. They're probably all quite old YA books, I would say, and I'm going to see if I still want to read them, if I'm going to keep them on my TBR, or if I'm just going to give them straight away to charity. So let's start with the darker bag first and let's just start pulling books out. If you're an old school subscriber or if you've been reading for a while or you've been on booktube for a long time, then you might recognize some of these. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so the first book we have here is The Dark Divine by Brie Despain, and I remember this one being very hyped back in probably 2011, I would say. Let's see when it was published. 2010. Yeah, so it would have been exactly as I was starting booktube in 2010 that this came out, and I think this might be a werewolf book. It's blurbed by the author of Hush Hush, so that's always a good start. The tagline is True Love's First Kill. Okay, and it says here, Daniel looked up at me, his dark eyes searched my face. There was something different about those two familiar eyes. Maybe it was the way the orange light from the street lamp illuminated his pupils. Maybe it was the way he stared without blinking. His eyes made him look hungry. So I remember this was part of a trilogy. I remember it being bigger than it actually is. I am very tempted to read this one just because it's going to be a really quick read and I always wanted to read it because everyone was hyping it up and I felt so left out. Don't know why I didn't pick it up closer to the time because obviously I did own it, but there we go. So this is the first one. I'm going to keep it for now. I'm not expecting to love it. Next we have For Darkness Shows the Stars by Diana Peterfront, who is the author of Rampant, and I didn't like that one. That was about unicorns. I have no idea what this is about. I imagine, going by the cover, it's a YA sci-fi. This came out around the time that there were girls in dresses on the covers of every single YA book, and I'm actually going to do a video on cover trends at some point because I've been around for a while and I think I can probably provide some insights. This came out in 2012 and again, no idea what it's about. I think it says there's been a genetic experiment that went wrong. It caused the reduction which decimated humanity and gave rise to the Luddite nobility who outlawed most technology. Okay, so is it a dystopian? It was inspired by Jane Austen's Persuasion, which I haven't read. I'm going to keep this one just because I'm intrigued, and again, I did see really good things about this when it first came out. I thought this was going to be a sci-fi, but it might be more of a dystopian sci-fi sort of thing. In that case, I might really enjoy it. Next we have a whole trilogy. So these are ones that I have read, and this is the Wool trilogy by Hugh Howey. So the first one is Wool, and then there's Shift, and then there's Dust. I don't think I've read Dust actually, but I was sent these by the publisher years ago and I've at least read two of them. So this is a dystopian book. This originally was self-published. It came out as a bunch of short stories, I think, and then it was all combined into this one volume and the publisher picked it up. So from what I can remember, the characters in this world all lived in silos underground. I can't remember exactly what they were doing, but I think the government told them that the outside was still not safe, even though the radioactivity or whatever was actually gone, and then the government kept killing people or something. I don't know, that's probably all entirely wrong, but I do want to reread this because I do think I would really enjoy it, and then I can recap them as well and I can finish off this series. So I'm going to keep these as well. What else have we got in here? Oh no. So this one is Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr. This one again was huge when it came out. I've just seen the faces on the cover, which I didn't notice before. This one is about fairies, I think. It's got a very different cover in the US. I don't really know much about it. I know that it was super hyped again in like 2009 maybe. Let's see. Oh no, 2007. So I love the US covers and I picked it up because everyone was talking about it when I first joined. Oh, hello. When I first joined booktube, and so I felt left out and wanted to read it too. This was kind of just after Twilight came out and started a whole paranormal romance phase. I really don't think I would enjoy it now, but I kind of want to try. There's kissing on page 138 already, so I don't know. I don't think I'm going to like it, but I do want to give it a go just because I'm having real trouble letting these books go just because of the nostalgia that comes with them. The next one is Inkheart, which I do want to read actually. This is by Cornelia Funke. This was actually turned into a film around the same time that I started booktubing. It was originally written in German, I think, and it's about a girl who loves stories, and I think she either goes into books or she brings books to life. either way round. The last one in this bag, aside from a random flip-flop, is Die For Me by Amy Plum. What I remember about this one is that it's set in France, I think. It was one of the first kind of genre YA books that were, or popular ones, that were set in a European country, so everyone was very excited about it. I don't really know like the genre. It says here that suddenly my sister Georgia and I became orphans. We put our lives into storage and moved to Paris to live with our grandparents. Then I met Vincent, mysterious, sexy and unnervingly charming. Vincent is an ignored human. He has a terrifying destiny, one that puts his life at risk every day. He also has enemies. So is the main character actually just kind of like a plain Jane, and this Vincent guy is the one with the real power? I don't know. I'm less keen to read this one, but again, the nostalgia is getting to me, so I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to keep all of these, I've decided, and give them all a go, and then maybe do a reading vlog of me reading like old YA. I think that might be quite fun. Okay, so we're on to the lighter bit. Oh no, this one's heavier. We're on to the lighter bag now, or at least the white one. Okay, this first one is a bit different. It's called Ill Winds by Rachel Kane. This is the first book in the Weather Warden series, which is an urban fantasy. I think they all had like special weather related powers. I've not read this series and I can't really remember much about it. I think I just picked it up because I found them in a charity shop and I was really enjoying Rachel Kane's other books. This was before I read Still House Late, but probably around the time that I was reading Morganville Vampires, which is a series that I was really enjoying. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a go. Oh, okay, this one is called Hereafter. Again, a gorgeous early YA cover. I love this one. Again, girl in a dress. So I think in this one, the main character is a ghost. Again, blurbed by Becca Fitzpatrick, the author of Hush Hush. She was very popular back in the day. I was floating in the river again. The dark, twisting scene looked almost the same as it did in each of my horrible dreams, almost, because this time I wasn't the one drowning, he was. The only thing Amelia knows for sure is that she is dead, so she is a ghost. Everything changes when she finds Joshua drowning in her river. So is she like a river goddess? I don't know. But I remember, again, this one being very hyped up, and I can't remember if it's part of a series or not. And I don't know what Tara Hudson's doing now, so I would love to know, and I'm gonna look that up. Maybe do a video on that as well and see where authors are now. Anyway, what's this one? This is The White Tower. I don't remember this one at all. This might be one that I end up giving away, actually. I don't remember it. I do quite like the cover though. It's very Bear and the Nightingale, I think. So this one is about a girl called Livy whose best friend died. She is lost in grief. She starts a new school called Temple College, and she is drawn to the roof of the ancient tower, and then it just says people are watching her. So I don't know. I don't feel particularly captivated or drawn to read this one just because I haven't heard much about it. I think a publisher might have sent it to me at the time. I really can't remember, so maybe I'll give this one away. This might be the only one that I don't end up reading. What have we got here? Okay, this is Weather Warden's book 2. It's called Heatstroke. Again, I think this is about people with kind of, oh, the blurb mentions gin, and I don't think people have really spoken about that much. That's interesting. I tend to enjoy stories about gin, so yeah, I'm a bit more excited to read this one now. That's cool. Then we have Blackout by Myra Grant. This is the third book in her series. Do we have the other ones? Okay, I can see, yeah. Cool. Sorry, this is chaotic. So we have the 3 books in the Feed trilogy. It starts with Feed, then we have Deadline, then we have Blackout. So I read Feed at the time when it came out and I didn't really love it. I thought it wasn't really my thing. At the time I was reading a lot of YA paranormal though, in case you couldn't tell. And I have since read a few books by Myra Grant and I really enjoyed Into the Drowning Deep in particular. So I'm more keen to reread this one and then read these 2 books as well. Obviously I will recap them. From what I remember about this one, it's set during the zombie apocalypse, I think in like 2014 or something. The main character is a news reporter and she's reporting things that are going on during the apocalypse and during like post-apocalyptic dystopian times. 20 years after the Rising, bloggers Georgia and Sean Mason are on the trail of the biggest story of their lives, the dark conspiracy behind the infected. So I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this one a lot more now than I did at the time, so I'm looking forward to reading these. I might put them on my TBR for the summer. We have Remote Control by Andy McNabb. This isn't really my usual kind of thing, but I'm not against reading it. So this one I think is one of those like crime special forces books where it follows someone from the army or navy or something as they go along and like fight all the bad guys. Is this the first one in the series? I think I probably picked this up in a charity shop from the looks of it. Yeah, it says it's Nick Stone #1. Oh, some of the other books in the series are set in different countries. So that's quite cool. That will add to my map, even though it's not own voices. Interesting. Okay, I might give this a go at some point. It might be a really quick read. Next we have The Reckoning, which I think is like the 3rd book in this series. Let me see if I've got the others. Yeah, I've got The Awakening, but I don't have the other ones, so I'm missing book 1, I think. But these are by Kelly Armstrong and I think it follows teenage witches. As you may know, I'm rereading Kelly Armstrong's Women of the Other World books this year. I'm currently on book 5 or 6 as you're watching this. I don't know if this is set in the same world, but I'm really enjoying rereading her books and getting caught up up in paranormal books again, so I'm going to give these two a go as well. We've got one that I don't remember. This one's called Shadow Hills. I think this one must have had a different cover. If it did, I'll put it up on the screen here. No idea what this is about. Persephone, okay. There was a trend of YA main characters being called Persephone. She has been plagued by disturbing dreams. Determined to find out what happened to her sister, she rolls in a prep school in Shadow Hills, Massachusetts, the subject of her sister's final diary entry. She realizes that there's something different about this place, an unexplained epidemic that decimated the town in the 1700s, an ancient and creepy cemetery, and a gorgeous boy called Zach, and somehow she's connected to it all. Okay, so I love boarding school books, and if that's what this is, I am probably going to at least enjoy reading it. When did this one come out? Oh, okay, on here, just after the copyright page, it says other Egmont USA books you may enjoy, and then it lists a few others, including The Dark Divine, so it must have come out around the same time. It also lists Hourglass, which I don't remember, Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which I didn't like, and Siren by Trisha Rayburn, which again, I don't think I enjoyed. This one came out in 2010 as well, and again, I think it must have had a different cover because I don't remember this cover at all. I must have picked it up because it was hyped. We have another Weather Warden book. This is book 3. Again, I probably got this from the charity shop, to be honest, and this one also mentions gin, so that's really exciting. I've just got 2 more in here, it looks like. So the first one is Elsewhere. This one, again, was really, really popular when it first came out, which was in 2005, so it was around the time of Twilight. From what I can remember, the main character is a ghost or is dying and she's in the afterlife. Let's see. Yeah, Liz is killed in a hit-and-run accident and her life takes a very unexpected turn. At nearly 16, she knows she will never get married, never have children, perhaps never fall in love. But in Elsewhere, all things carry on almost as they did on Earth, except the inhabitants get younger. So I think this one's going to be quite sad. I'm not entirely sure I want to read it, but it is only short. It's only 250 pages long, so I think I could probably read it quite quickly and then let you know how it is. I'm actually quite excited to do this reading vlog, to be honest, because there are a lot of these I had completely forgotten about. I didn't even remember owning them. And then this next one, oh, it's an advanced reader's copy of a book that I have already read, so that's good. It's not adding to my TBR. An Arc of the Last Namsara. This actually has a very, very different cover. But this one came out in October 2017, so it's been sat at my grandma's house for years. I've already read it, so it's not adding to my TBR. I might just keep it for my little art collection that I've got going on. So those are all the books, or not all of the books. Those are a bunch of the books that I had sitting at my granddad's house. Let me know if you remember hearing about any of these and if you think I should review any of them in particular. I do think I will be doing a reading vlog where I read through some of them and give you my thoughts. I'm not expecting to love any of them, to be honest, anymore. The one I'm most excited about is probably Shadow Hills, like from the YA books. That sounds the most like my kind of thing, but I'm very much looking forward to going back and doing this experiment. I honestly cannot wait. So thank you so much for watching this book haul. It was a little bit different from my usual ones, but hopefully you enjoyed it and it gave you all some nice nostalgia. Thanks again for watching, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye.